Hello and welcome. I'm Parul Sharma and you're watching Zoom TV. Please join me in welcoming the talented cast of Kanjoos Makhichoos. Hello my Kanjooses, my Makhichooses.
Hi Parul.
How are we today?
Very good. और आपने ये जो eyeliner इतने अच्छे से और cleanly लगाया है, क्या बात है?
I love it. I love it when my guests compliment me. Let me give it right back to you. You are looking fabulous.
Thank you.
Okay, straight off the bat, I need to know from both of you, what were your first impressions of each other and did they change or evolve as you continued working together?
I don't know, I don't make any impressions as such before I meet somebody, you know. Because I've been an actor, I know sometimes people have a different impression of you because they've just seen you on screen.
Right.
And also when you meet somebody for the first time, you don't know what they're thinking, and I don't know if they show their true self in the first meeting. Somebody's shy and can come across as rude or like a snob.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any first impressions as in like preconceived notions of what kind of a person she would be, but I just thought that this person's gonna try out, because I'd never seen her do comedy before.
Right.
So I was interested to know, like,
and she's actually a really funny person, like when you get to know her.
Yeah, when you get to know her, right? And so that's what I learned about her, that she loves talking. She communicates really well.
Yeah.
And she asks a lot of questions. Not all of them have something to do with what needs to be done.
Point at
but there are a lot of questions that happen. But also something like, I was surprised because like she really got onto this comic timing thing really fast.
Right.
And in a very impressive way. And I think she brought a lot more to the character than was on the paper. So that's
a high compliment.
It is a compliment actually.
What about you? What was your impression of him? Did it change? Did it evolve?
It definitely changed. It was a very good impression that I had, obviously, because of his
Then
work.
it changed and became
And then it became even better. Because when I knew that this would be a fun ride. But मैंने ये नहीं सोचा था कि ये personally कैसे होंगे या actually professionally जो भी देखा था वो on screen देखा था. But we have few common friends and जो भी इनके बारे में बात करता था ना, वो अच्छी बातें ही करता था. So that felt very nice because you know that you are going to meet somebody जिसके बारे में सिर्फ अच्छी बातें होती हैं.
Right.
All my girlfriends were super excited that I was working with him. Oh my God, I'm working with him. And I was like, अरे wow, अच्छा ऐसी भी fan following है. And when I met him for the first time was for the reading of Kanjoos Makhichoos.
Right.
And I remember what he was wearing, and I especially noticed his shoes because he was wearing very cool sneakers.
Oh.
So वो मेरी नजर वहाँ पे वो गई थी. And I was like, ये तो बहुत सफेद जूते हैं, कैसे सफेद रखता है ये मैं बाद में पूछूंगी.
पूछता उनको घर पे जाके.
Very sweet, but these are like nice first impressions that you guys had. I'm loving the vibe and the energy. Kunal, I want to tell you this. Do you know that the growing consensus on the internet and amongst people in general is that you are a hidden gem that is being discovered far too late? No, really. And that the last couple of years, everything that you've done has been critically acclaimed. People have really liked it and they're like, dude, this guy is doing really good work. How does that feel? Because I'm sure it feels really satisfying at this point, right?
मैं sorry before you answer. क्योंकि आज ही मुझे पता चला कि इनको 30 साल हो गए इंडस्ट्री में, तो अगर 30 साल के लिए कोई हिडन जेम है, I think that's a huge compliment. ये आप कैसे करते हैं तो मुझे भी जानना है.
मैं बचपन से छुपन-छुपाई में बड़ा कमाल का था.
Would you say at that point as a 21, 22, 23-year-old, when you needed that support, who kind of was there for you, like in your corner and kind of got you out of it? And also, how did you sort of, when you're not getting the adulation and the love that you want right off the bat, which rightly deserved, I think it was, but since we've been sleeping on you for so long, how did you kind of get out of that? Because I think it's very important to talk about this, because it's motivating to other people as well, right? Like who may be sort of struggling a little bit or who feel like their time hasn't come yet, but there's a reason to hold on because then there are success stories like you.
See, honestly, I think there was a different time also. Now you get a lot of feedback right on your phones.
Right.
Thanks to social media. It didn't exist then. So for me, it wasn't that am I getting enough love? That I've always got.
Yeah.
And that's always kind of been my driving force. It's just that the people who, when, like you said, now you're bringing this up, so the people who hear it are like, oh, this person's like, we should work with him. So the people who are responsible for giving you opportunities, the dearth and the lack of those opportunities was the problem.
Right.
It wasn't, I don't know how many people love me, because when I would see somebody, they always loved my work.
Right.
The fact that it's being vocalized now in a way that everybody is hearing it is the important part. So for me then the problem was that there was a lack of opportunities that I wanted to capitalize on.
Sure.
Like right now somebody came to me and said that, you know, I want to just tell you that I would love to see you dance more. Why are you not dancing more? Or even to say that why aren't you doing films like this more? And I'm like, it's not because I'm not the guy who's making that film. Somebody needs to reach out to me and do that, and then I'll be able to do it. But having said that, I think every actor goes through that, because an actor's life is basically one of waiting.
Right.
Throughout. Even when you're working, you're waiting in a van.
That's very nice.
And then you basically get paid to wait, right? Because acting is something that you love to do.
Yeah.
So you have to wait for somebody to believe in you or say that, okay, I'll work with him. Then you have to wait for that to happen. Then you have to wait for it to finish. Then you have to wait for it to be completed. Then you have to wait for it to be promoted, presented well, people finding it to work, then get another opportunity. So a lot of that kind of goes into that. But you have to go through it. Because you've chosen to be this, you get a lot of pleasure out of doing this. So that's why I tell this to a lot of young kids who want to come to be an actor, is also that do not look at this glittering thing that you're seeing.
Right.
Because this is you also right now on Instagram have that glittering thing, but that's not you. You're putting your best face out.
Right.
And others feel ये तो बड़ी मस्त life जी रहा है.
Absolutely.
और उधर वो ऐसा selfie लेके गाली देके वाला जो like नहीं मिला यार आज मेरे को. You know. So that's the thing. So you got to prep for it. And the other thing is that you have to invest in the right friends and families, because that's your real life. This is just a part of what you do. And if that base is strong, it will help you get through it. You have to recognize that you're going through something.
Right.
It's okay to feel upset. It's okay to feel stressed. Talk about it. Denial is where problems start.
Right.
So if you're aware of it, know that it'll change. The best times have changed. The worst times will also change.
I love that. That was a really nice positive outlook to it, and I'm glad, that we did discuss that. Shweta, in an interview recently, you said that you kind of talked about how you didn't really fit into the mold of a conventional actress, and that not fitting in has worked for you. Okay, I don't want to mess up the quote, so I'm going to say it exactly as it is. And also you talked about it being high time that, you claimed respect and everybody kind of did that. So can you delve a little bit more into that for me? Like what space was that coming from, and, what do you feel about it now?
So बचपन से I always wanted to be an actor. On screen, on stage, radio पे जो stories होती हैं, मतलब I didn't think कि मैं ये करूँगी और ये नहीं करूँगी. मुझे acting से प्यार था, हो चुका था. And acting का कीड़ा किसी को भी जब काट लेता ना, trust me, आप चाहे director बन जाओ, casting director बन जाओ या कुछ भी doctor बन जाओ, पर वो कीड़ा अगर होता है तो till the time you don't become an actor, till the time you don't act, वो fulfill नहीं होता है. तो वो मेरा इंटेंशन हमेशा से था कि मुझे अलग अलग स्टोरीज का पार्ट होना है, मुझे अलग अलग कैरेक्टर्स में ढल जाना है, उनकी कहानियाँ बतानी है. सो दैट जस्ट लेड वन थिंग लेड टू द अदर. एंड वो जो हमारे आई थिंक ओम शांति ओम में SRK सेज कि पूरी नहीं कायनात
पूरे शिद्दत से चाहो तो कायनात.
करेक्ट. तो आई ट्रूली बिलीव इन दैट कि आप अपना काम करते रहो एंड ऑटोमेटिकली डोर्स विल ओपन एंड यू विल दैट जर्नी विल एटलीस्ट स्टार्ट. एंड वो गोल क्या है वो भूल जाओ. लाइक लिटरली द जर्नी एंड द गोल, इफ इट बिकम्स वन, दैट इज व्हेन यू स्टार्ट एंजॉयिंग. ये सारी चीज़ें मुझे अब धीरे धीरे करके समझ में आ रही हैं. वाई आई सेड दैट वाज कि मैंने कभी अपने आप को हीरोइन स्टार ये सब मैंने सोचा नहीं था. मुझे एक्टिंग से प्यार था, मुझे एक्टिंग करनी थी. इट वाज एज सिंपल एज दैट. व्हेन आई केम हियर एंड व्हेन आई हैड ऑडिशन फॉर वन थिंग, तो वहाँ पे एक एडी था जो हम रिक्शे में जा रहे थे. मेरा टेस्ट खत्म ही हुआ था, विच वॉज अ फॉर्मेलिटी, क्योंकि वो खत्म करके दे वर टेकिंग मी टू मीट द डायरेक्टर. एंड दिस वॉज वेरी पॉपुलर गुड डायरेक्टर. एंड हम जा रहे थे तो उस लड़के ने, एडी ने मुझे बोला कि श्वेता, मतलब why are you thinking about main leads? So like you should be happy being the sister or the friend or whatever. तो मैंने उसको कुछ नहीं बोला, क्योंकि I was like, भाई तुम्हारी ओपिनियन है. Right. It's fine. Like I didn't have to fight that or I didn't have to prove anything to him. But I knew कि मुझे क्या करना है. मुझे बहन सिस्टर बनने में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ये कुछ नहीं होता कि ये नहीं कर सकते या कर सकते, बट इंटरेस्टिंग होना चाहिए, अब चाहे वो किरदार जैसा भी हो. So I feel हाइट का बहुत होता है.
But have you been made to feel like that, or like is it your own something that you battle with?
Thankfully, again, with the kind of people that I've worked with, never.
Yeah.
Never, ever. Even from the audience or even from the media. Yeah. But I feel very grateful and blessed. क्योंकि I know सबकी ये जर्नी नहीं होती. मुझे जब कुछ लोगों की जब जर्नी सुनाई देती हैं तो literally I'm like, oh my God, thank God I'm not working with those kind of people. Right. Because I don't want to have that is scary, and the kind of people that I'm working with, वो काम में ही दिखता है.
Sure.
क्योंकि जो मतलब मसान हराम को लाखों में एक जो बना रहे हैं, so that comes from a very pure place.
Right.
So and the people that you work with, they make you. मैं ऐसी नहीं थी. वो मेरी पहला प्रोजेक्ट हरामखोर था विद नवाज भाई. वो मेरी स्कूलिंग हो गई वहाँ पे, जो किसी ने प्लान नहीं किया था. एंड धीरे धीरे करके इवन वर्किंग विद हिम ऑन कंजूस मकीचूस, देयर वाज सो मच टू लर्न. सो आई थिंक वो बटोरते रहो, जो भी ग्रोथ हो रही है एंड वो आपको खुश रखेगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली चीजें हो ही जाती हैं.
So it was more of an internal struggle, like thought perception that you had, but then you got over it.
I've been very comfortable with my height, with my skin color, with how I look.
But you're gorgeous, so what?
हाँ, नहीं, what I'm saying is that वो हीरोइन का जो एक होता है ना stereotypical, correct, वो मुझे फिट कभी करना ही नहीं था. Not because कि चलो मैं अपनी स्पेस बनाऊंगी, नहीं. But I'm fine, and I think, I really think that I'm
fitting in, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. So I laughed in this trailer a couple of times, and I can't remember the last time that happened. I'll be very honest, because trailers are not that funny these days. But
तो हमारा काफी credit जाता है जिसने trailer काटा है.
Yeah, it was really good, and so I can kind of tell that there are quite a few comedic elements in this, and you've also kind of talked about how you saw her do comedy. So tell me what it is about comedy for both of you that you think people don't know enough about or talk enough about. Like, what is that challenge, and what is something that isn't talked about enough when as an actor you're doing comedy that we don't know about, like the laymen don't know about?
Everybody, there's one thing about comedy, and we spoke about this last, and late Satish ji shed so much light on it. It's called the toughest genre to do.
Absolutely.
But it gets a lot of love, but it's not as well respected as as it should be. And it's globally, if you see, if it is the toughest thing to do, then how come even at the Oscars, there's no comic actor who's won the best actor? It's always drama, and I just feel that comedy is that one thing where you're laughing at somebody's pain in some way.
Yeah.
Whether uski bebasi hai, ya wo phas gaya hai, ya wo gir gaya hai, ya usko lagi hai. And it's been like that. Like, even if you see Charlie Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy, the greats, like there was so much physical comedy that would happen. They would get hurt, and we would laugh at that.
Absolutely, yeah.
But again, then comedy transcends to things like you can find humor in grief, you can find humor in happiness, you can find humor in everything.
Yeah.
But if you just extract the right kind of humor, then you'll make somebody laugh. But also, I think if you have that, it's like with great powers comes great responsibility. If you aced the talent of being able to make somebody laugh, then you should also know where to draw the line, because a lot of humor is by
punching down,
insulting somebody, or bringing somebody down. That is humor that I don't really...
The punch down.
It's easier to do. Trust me, it's easier to do. It's very easy for me to make fun of you in some way. But I don't want to... I can do it with like a very close friend who there's a comfort level with. But if I just pick on somebody, then it's like being a bully.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I personally like to draw the line. That's why I've never been a big fan of roasts, and I understand that there's a different understanding of that. I just don't relate to it.
Right.
So within the space that I am in comedy, I'm very happy doing. I think Kanjoos Makhichoos is very representative of the comedies that I like.
Yeah.
And comedies that can be enjoyed by everyone, which are the tougher comedies.
Right.
To extract humor from something as simple as, कि ये खाने में 8 भिंडी क्यों लाया, क्योंकि 2 भिंडी एक आदमी का करेंगे, उसमें ह्यूमर है, बट वो बहुत मुश्किल है ह्यूमर निकालना, क्योंकि टूथपेस्ट से हम सब निकालते हैं, लेकिन ये पहली बार देख के क्यों हंसी है कि अभी इसमें पूरा खानदान 3 दिन और ब्रश कर सकता है. ये सोच, इट्स वेरी इजी टू से, तुमको क्या पता, तुम तो नाटी सी हो, चली जाओ, इस पे हंसी भी आ जाएगी, या केले के छिलके पे फिसल गया. So I really appreciate the writers and directors who kind of do extract this. For that matter, even Lootcase had very simple humor that kind of was shining. So I think we should actually try and work harder to get that kind of humor.
Go more into this space. Yeah. What about you, Shweta?
One thing that I learned doing this was it's addictive.
Yeah.
Because जब मैंने किया था तो मुझे पता नहीं था कि क्या लगेगा, कैसे लगेगा. But पहले butterflies भी थी because of the talent around. But जब समझ में आया ना थोड़ा, तो ये समझा कि एक तो बहुत कुछ है सीखने के लिए. I know that there is a lot I can improve, but I wanted to improve. I was enjoying the process, and then like I truly enjoyed being Madhuri. So I can't wait to see कि और क्या हो सकता है.
I love that. I'm going to real quick rapid fire, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Recall a time that you have been conjuice about something.
I am very conjuice about tissue paper, क्योंकि oh really हम ही दुनिया को बचाने वाले हैं.
My mama says मैं एक tissue paper खाती हूँ. Like she's like, तू toilet roll खाती है. Please behave yourself.
Oh okay.
हाँ okay. Tissue paper.
हाँ.
You're conjuice about. Okay, what about you?
I-
Sorry, I just like revealed too much information all of a sudden.
नहीं, पर मुझे इसके बाद जानना है कि इतना टिश्यू पेपर से करते क्या हो?
I recall the last time I was a Kanjoos. I don't know. I mean, I think I've been a किफायती Kanjoos. I've not been a
Explain.
किफायती Kanjoos is like कि इसकी मुझे अभी जरूरत नहीं
No,
है।
I know what it is, but what have you done that?
Like even when I was like shopping for myself,
हाँ.
तो अभी एक टी-शर्ट ले लिए तो दूसरी लेनी जरूरी है क्या? ये इतनी महंगी है,
You're a
इसमें
smart
दो आ
Kanjoos.
सकते हैं. You know, so that kind of हिसाब किताब always keeps happening. But I know that once my sister called me a big Kanjoos because as a kid when we used to go out for dinner or lunches, I used to always feel कि because I grew up, she was born after me, so we kind of had moved from Srinagar and we'd seen tougher times. I used to always feel like घर पे पैसे नहीं है as a kid. So when we used to go out, we used to order 2x4, 1x2, which अभी भी करते हैं. तो वो एक बार उसको कुछ ऐसी चीज खानी थी जो किसी और को नहीं खानी थी. तो उसने पूरी मंगाई. तो मैं बोला तू पागल हो गई है कि तू अकेले कैसे खा सकती है? सब खाएंगे तो आनी चाहिए, तो क्यों आएगी? तो पापा ने बोला बेटा मंगाने से उसको क्या हो गया, वो खा लेगी. I was like, तू नहीं यार ये तो वेस्ट हो जाएगा, अकेले you won't finish it and nobody wants to eat it. She was like भैया आप तो बड़े कंजूस हो यार, मेरे को तो खाने दो जो खाना है. So I think yeah, that was one time that I got called कंजूस.
That's a sweet one. Okay, your biggest pet peeve on a set when you're shooting?
I know mine.
Which is
Wastage of time. Because time is money on a set.
Fair.
If you're discussing things that should have been discussed before you were on set, then I don't like that.
Then you're not doing a good
Yeah,
job.
because I'm not the producer, but I just feel we're wasting precious time.
Yeah. I'm like, you have this like internal conjuice thing, huh? Like, हाँ, थोड़ा अंदर से है.
Wastage, it's basically wastage.
Yeah, absolutely. What
जब
about
सेट पे जोर जोर से बात करते हैं लोग, क्योंकि सभी काम कर रहे हैं ना, तो यू नीड टू रिस्पेक्ट एवरीबॉडी,
you? Absolutely.
क्रू एंड कास्ट. तो तब मुझे लगता है यार थोड़ा सा पीस ऑफ माइंड दे दो
Yeah.
सबको.
Wildest rumor you have ever heard about yourself? Something fun.
एक तो बीच में बड़ा फन तो नहीं है, किसी ने बोले तो मर गया मैं.
I had the same conversation with Sunil Shetty sir 2 days ago, and he was talking about the same thing. And he's like, somebody told me I'd popped it like during a shoot, and it like was very obviously.
Yeah, my dad called me.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
And I was playing PlayStation at somebody's house, and I got out and there were missed calls. He said, "Kya hua?" I said, "He was panting." He said, "Somebody called saying that you committed suicide." I said, "What?"
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said, "What? Who
That's a
called you?"
horrible thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently some journalist called because the first name was shared.
Yeah.
So unfortunately somebody else.
People need to be a lot more
Yeah,
careful
but
about death hoaxes.
This
and
is all.
stuff,
Would
yeah.
you like to comment on this? And he was like, "What are you talking about?"
Comment on this. Shweta, what about?
That Mirzapur season 3 नहीं आने वाला है.
Oh, all right then.
Oh, is that a spoiler or?
She's like casual. I'm just dropping this in. First, car or gadget you bought from your own earnings.
What I remember is about the first signing amount that I got for Kalyug, I bought myself a television. क्योंकि that was the first time I'd kind of gotten a place on rent and moved out.
Yeah.
और घर पे ना वो हमेशा ऐसे होता था, एक हॉल में एक ही टीवी था घर पे, और उस पे ना वो 8:30 बजे झगड़े होने लगते थे.
क्या देखना है? Prime time.
पापा को कुछ देखना, मम्मी को कुछ देखना, मेरी तो कोई सुनता ही नहीं था. तो वही था कि बेटा जब अपना टीवी ले आओगे तो कर लेना. तो मैं कहा सबसे पहले अपना टीवी ले आता हूँ.
ये तो प्रॉब्लम खत्म कर रहे हैं. और बच्चे
मैंने अपना पहला डिजाइनर बैग अब जाके खरीदा है. तो मैं उतनी बड़ी कंजूस हूँ बिकॉज मुझे समझ में नहीं आता कि हाउ पीपल स्पेंड सो मच on something, and that also bag I liked because I fell in love with the strap. And वो मतलब it was love at first sight.
Yeah.
So only
तो करना
for
पड़ेगा.
that pure purpose. And जब पहली जो गाड़ी थी जो मैंने अपने पैसे से बिल्कुल भी नहीं थी, मॉम डैड के पैसे थे, but I wanted to get a yellow Alto. And I was very
that's
sure.
very
And फिर
specific.
पेरेंट्स ने बोला कि भाई देखो हम भी चलाएंगे ये जो गाड़ी आने वाली है, so can we please go for a
Neutral color.
So then we bought silver. But मुझे तब समझ में नहीं आया था कि येलो से इनको क्या प्रॉब्लम है. And then now I obviously understand.
love. And lastly, number one reason to watch Kanjoos Makhichoos.
Number one reason to watch Kanjoos Makhichoos.
Now you have to do it back.
नहीं अरे इनके पास बहुत आंसर्स हैं.
नहीं, मगर अपने number one reason, I think when you started by saying that it's a trailer that you've enjoyed, I think that should be the reason more than anybody else. If the story is something that is connected with you, if the humor is something that's connected with you, then that's the reason why you should watch it, because the film is full of it. It's not ki the best pieces were used in the trailer.
yeah.
I think the best pieces are not even in the trailer.
Love.
Yeah, so
Looking forward.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, no, I mean this.
Oh,
मतलब मैं
genuinely
किसी को-
Kunal.
Yeah, उसको भी please करने के लिए नहीं कह रही हूँ. I really think, having said that, ये film कितनी अच्छी है, बढ़िया लिखी गई है, direct की गई है, वो सब एक तरफ है. But if he was not a part of the film would not be what it is. I can't imagine, and I don't even want to imagine anybody else in this part. So I would say number one reason is him.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for having such a wonderful chat with me.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. I can't wait to watch this, and onwards and upwards.
Thank you.
Thank you.